Boys, I have a question for you. Um, oh, hello, Kratos. Stop talking to me. Sorry, there was an ad playing for the show.
Oh.
Um, what well, we usually do food stuff here at the top, but I have a different question for you. What was your most played CD during high school,
Ooh.
or cassette? If you fucked with cassettes, I know Bobby, you're pretty old, but album, your most played album during your high school years.
My most played album
Yep.
during high school.
Yep.
Oh man. Probably like Sergeant Pepper's or Is a Real Boy by Say Anything.
Yeah, that's fair.
Probably the top two.
Yeah. Just two bands that are very much like each other.
Exactly.
I
My two favorite bands. So it would make sense.
really had I did a lot of stuff with mixed CDs. When I graduated 8th grade, I got a CD burner. And so I burned, I would just make a lot of mixes, but like whole albums, it would have been near the end of high school, and it would have been the Postal Service. I would say that I played the shit out of that album.
Yes.
Okay.
It's an excellent
That
album.
and Interpol were probably like two of my biggest. But mixes were what I played the most of.
I made a lot of burnt CDs. I had an MP3 CD player, so I would make CDs that had like however many songs those could hold. I don't remember. It was like around 100, wasn't it?
Well, if you did like straight MP3s, but if you did them as like wave format, you could put like 18 to 20 depending on the song length. But
sure,
if you had a CD player, because that was really cool, and like it's like, hey, it's gonna basically treat a CD as like like what we know as MP3 players or what we knew as MP3 players. It could be a data disc, and you could put a shit ton on there, but it was usually like a lower compression, lower audio quality.
Yeah, my first car only had a cassette player, which not great for playing my new CDs.
No.
So I played a lot of Sgt. Pepper's as well, and a lot of Magical Mystery Tour. Those were a couple of tapes that I had. But then once I got the CD player, it was all Yellow Card Ocean Avenue all the time.
Yeah,
that was huge. And then Demon Days. Gorilla's Demon Days was also played quite a bit. The problem was my commute to school was 4 minutes, so
it's like one song.
Yeah, I could get through most of Fire Coming Out of a Monkey's Head, and then I was already parked.
Is that the one that Matt Berry joined them for? I think that's the song recently that Matt Berry came on and did all of the voice.
Oh, really?
Like there's a concert in England. Matt Berry was on stage with the Gorillas. I'm pretty sure that it was Fires Out of the Monkey's Head. Then he's doing the whole bit.
That's awesome. I love that song. It's probably my favorite Gorilla song. It's
you have to look. You should look. Keep me honest on that and look it up while I get us rolling into here.
Yeah, go for it. Start the show.
Well, the show's starting late because again, technology, damnedest thing. And if you are watching our show or listening to our show and you do any sort of streaming, you know that this stuff is unpredictable. So late start tonight, but you found the casual hour. You found the last episode in the 200s of the Casual Hour. You have found episode 299 of the Casual Hour. We're a podcast ostensibly about video games, but tonight we're mostly about the worst Pokemon. I'm Bobby Pease, the host of this shit show. Joining me as always, Chase Kinnicky, and joining me occasionally, Johnny Amizich. How are you two doing?
Bobby, you're correct.
It is that one? It was so good. You need to watch it. It's so good.
Yeah, I will do that right after the podcast.
We've got a very special deep dive tonight led by one Johnny Amizich, and we've got a shit ton of games to talk about before that. To give you a little teaser of what you can expect tonight, we're going to talk about Tinykin. We're going to talk about Shovel Knight Dig. We've got some hot takes on Tactics Ogre Reborn. Lunistis. Is that right? Did I say that right? Lunistis?
I think so. Sure.
Lunistis. A little to the left, Sonic Frontiers, Somerville, Pentiment, Warzone 2.0. And then last but not least, we're going to tell you with a bracket, no less, an authentic bracket What is the worst Pokemon? Brought to you by Definitively.
We like making brackets for the worst of things. We did it with character, and now we're doing it with Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon, not characters. I mean, some Pokemon are characters. Ash's Pikachu is a character.
Yeah.
Pikachu, not a character.
Fair. So let's get to it because we do have a lot to get through here. Chase, what you been playing, man?
Yeah, I can run through some of this stuff pretty quick. I tried this Lunasis demo. We showed that in our November preview. This is the game that kind of looks like a bonus stage of Sonic the Hedgehog. Or like more accurately, I guess it's supposed to look more like a Saturn style 3D game. Saturn was not known for its 3D. This game, I think it has a really cool look to it. Bobby, I think you were not as enamored with the look.
I was not into what I saw.
Which I get it. It's going for that low poly look that does just look old. I don't think it ages super well, but I really like the style that they have here, and I think it looks pretty darn clean with what they've done. I thought this was going to be more of like a runner type game, and it is, but it's not automatic. It's not auto running for you, and it's tough. I want to like this game more than I do. It is a very precise platformer. You fall off a lot, and you can just keep resetting. It's fine, and it does have some checkpoints. But when I look at that game in trailers, it just looks like, oh, this is such a smooth thing. It looks like what I want a Sonic the Hedgehog game to look like, where you're grinding on rails and you're bouncing on stuff and you're jumping and popping stuff as you bounce from balloon to balloon to get to your place. And it's like, okay, this is like some cool 3D-ish Sonic stuff, but in this old style. And at certain times, at its peak, it is that. It's really hard to get into that peak, and my biggest problem is that it has some separate paths that you can take to get all the different secrets in the levels, and those just slow you down completely. And you go one way, and then it kind of says, okay, well, now you have to like do some precision platforming that you should do slower. We're still timing you, but you should do this more slowly. And then you finish it, and you kind of have to backtrack back to what the main path was. And it's like, I just want that sense of momentum and speed and always progressing forward that I get from Sonic stuff. And this wasn't quite it. I still think it's fun. Again, the demo's free. It's on eShop. I'm sure it's everywhere else as well. I think it looks cool. I think the music is good. And you get, I think, 4 levels.
Okay.
That you get to play in the demo, 3 of the different environments and 4 levels total.
Did you say what you're playing it on?
I played it on Switch.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, it didn't enamor me, unfortunately, even though I really wanted it to. I also played some Shovel Knight Dig. Not too much. I only played maybe 3 or 4 attempts at it. And you guys are right. That game is hard.
Yes, it is.
I think in some parts unfairly hard, where it has a lot of hidden enemies that bounce in, which I think when you have a roguelike game where these things can end your run, that feels bad. That feels cheap.
Yeah, it's a bummer. And it does, like, I think it's one of those games that they've made approachable but hard to master to a fault. And I do think that you have to spend a lot of currency in game to get the gear that you might be able to carry with you to make these runs more substantial. Even the whole, like, it costs like 2,000 coins to open a fast travel, and then 500 coins, I think, or 400 coins to use it each time. It's just the currency I don't really love, but I really like. I mean, I do like the game. I just wish that certain things that you unlocked, like progression to the next world, did not cost money to take advantage of.
Yeah. I think it has some cool mechanics. I think it plays well.
Mm-hmm.
I think it reminds me enough of Shovel Knight that it doesn't feel like it betrays having the Shovel Knight name on it. But it's just not quite there from a roguelike perspective, in my opinion. There's a billion other roguelikes that I would rather be playing on my Nintendo Switch. But this one is new, and I think it will have a fan base, and I think it'll build a fan base that'll really love it and appreciate it for its quirks and difficulty. I'm just not quite that guy. But it is something that I might go back to every once in a while and just kind of check in and see where it's going, because I think it has some really neat ideas, and sometimes when I get it going and I'm starting to have a good run, I'm like, okay, I like this, I like where this is going, and then a little cheap thing or two will happen, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of fucked. I don't like that.
That's kind of how I felt about it as well. And I think as far as like roguelites of that flavor are concerned, Spelunky still reigns supreme for me.
Yeah,
I'm just at a point, man, where like I think games in general at this, like I'm at a point in my life with what I've fine-tuned what I really dig and what I like. I like to dabble and try a bunch of new stuff. I want to continue to play new things, but I don't want to spend a whole lot of times on punitive games, man. It's just not. It's not my thing. It's not my thing.
And I think just the roguelike genre, I think it's relatively oversaturated at this point.
A little bit.
And the real problem is that there are so many good examples. And it's hard if you're gonna make a roguelike, you gotta make a really damn good one to get me to stop playing Spelunky, get me to stop playing
Dead Cells.
Dead Cells, thank you. That's the one I was thinking of. Hades. I mean, Rogue Legacy 2 is now coming to Switch, or just came to Switch, and like that's not quite what I'm looking for anymore. I mean, that's a little different because it has the progression element.
Yeah,
I don't know. There's so many good ones, and it's hard to go and say, okay, well, I guess I'll be playing some of this now.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I think reception for Dig was a little mixed.
Yeah, I think that's a tough genre for sure. People they're sickos, Johnny. They love it a lot.
Yeah.
You don't mess with the formula.
No, speaking of sickos, I am a sicko for Tinykin. Holy shit. I knew I would like this game. Guys, this is like maybe top 5 game of the year for me at this point. I love this game. I love this game.
It's really good, but it's you're not going to get a whole lot more outside of that first like world, maybe 2 worlds tops.
I disagree. I understand. It's a lot. It's kind of just going through the same thing, but you get different Tinykins. Tinykin.
You get the 4 Tinykin at the very beginning. You get what you're going to get for the rest of the game.
No. You get more.
Dude, I've beat the game. I've got credits on it.
There's more in every world.
There's not. You get like 4 Tinykin at the beginning. You have 4 color. Chase, I've beat the game.
You're wrong though. What you're saying is wrong. You get 2 at the start. You get the purple ones that move things, and you get the red ones that explode. Those are the only 2 you get at the start. Then they add in the electric ones, and then they add in the green ones that can go into a ladder, and then they add the yellow ones that can make the slopes for you. And those all happen in like the next 4 worlds. They don't all happen at once.
It's incredibly early on in the game where you get all of those unlocked. We even talked about that on the quick look.
We didn't. We only played the first level in the quick look, and you only had the 2. I had never seen the ladder guys. I hadn't seen the electric guys. I still understand what you're saying. You're wrong, but you're wrong in this specific fact. But the general thing of this game is not. It's not introducing a ton of new mechanics to you. You're kind of doing the same thing over and over again. That is right. But what's carrying me through on this game is just how beautiful the levels are. The design of them. I think that the the mix of exploration to find the different Tinykin in a level, and then to use them to kind of Metroidvania yourself inside these levels are just it's so fun.
But it's not only that,
it's calming.
That each level, it's the exact same, like do this, this, and this, do this, this, and this, do this, this, and this, and like
perfect.
It's not perfect.
I love it. I love it. Hey, this is me talking about Tinykin. I know you like it, but I love it, and you know I don't love things. So let me talk about how much I love this game. It is. It's a game without combat, and I think that's really cool in 2022. We don't have a ton of games without combat that are still good and fun to just be in. I know you really like Grounded, and I think Grounded has some similar things with this of, hey, you're a small thing in a normal sized world, but Grounded is a survival game in that you are crafting and fighting and doing things, and Tinykin's just like, hey man, what if you just like explored around and just enjoyed the space? And they give you this, you don't have a double jump, but you have a jump and then a float. Mm-hmm. And it's very easy to extend that float as you go through the different levels. And to the point where you can just kind of float all the way around the levels, and just, it's such a cozy place to be in, while also each level that you go to is just a bigger expanded room from the last one. So you start in like a bedroom, and then you move to the bathroom, I think is the second one, and then the third, or no, it's like a garden, like a terrarium-y kind of place for the second one, and then it's a bathroom, and then it's a kitchen, and now I just got to I think it's supposed to be the final world, or at least one of the final worlds, where it's the kids' bedroom that's treated like this theme park, where there's a castle that you can explore and some dinosaurs and these things. And I'm just very excited every time I get to a new room to see how they have built up these worlds. I talk about it a lot when I played Micro Machines on the Sega Genesis, and loving just driving these little cars over the breakfast table and having Cheerios be your track guide, the walls of the track. And this game is that in spades. I love exploring spaces that have this. I know we did the quick look of this, and I thought it would look cool when we did that, but now that I'm playing it, I am just having the best time. And what I also love is, no matter how big these levels get, they're not so big that you can't finish them in a game session. And that has also been amazing as a person who doesn't want to spend a billion hours playing the same game, and especially coming off something like Live Alive.
Wait, shut the fuck up,
okay,
Chase.
Hang on. Yep, I heard it. I heard it as soon as it came out of my mouth.
Wait.
Jesus fucking Christ. Somebody needs to clip that.
Yeah,
because that is the most egregious thing that you've ever done on this show.
Let me clarify then, because I have some
Johnny,
games
pull
that
the
I play
fucking
a
stats
lot.
Up. Pull the stats up, Johnny.
Because I have some games that I do play a lot, it's nice to have a game that I know I can finish, and I know I can finish relatively quickly. Yes, Destiny is the game you're talking about, but also for me, I'm coming off Live Alive. Well, sure, that one too, but I'm not playing Animal Crossing right now. Coming off Live, what felt like a good amount of hours on to play something like Tinykin, and to know, hey, this is a very quick game, but I'm just having a great time exploring its world and seeing what new ways they've taken common household items and turned them into something that is new and fresh and interesting to see. When I had to throw my Tinykin at a toaster to get it to cook the bread, and then pop the bread out in a specific way so it knocked something off of the cabinet doors, so then the cabinet door could swing open, and now I can go in and explore those cabinets. I just fucking love it. It's so cool.
It's a neat game. I think
really
I enjoyed it. I think it did a lot on those world designs, because I agree with you. Like, they did a really fantastic job. And I told Johnny this. I think that ultimately it's a small team. They're doing a lot there. So like, I think they did a really nice job on that world design. Unfortunately, I think it maybe stifled the ways that they could have incorporated some more objectives throughout that world, because it became just like, let's copy and paste into those. And even some of the tinykin, like you've got one that's a ladder, one that's a bridge, very similar concepts. When you only have 4, like they don't feel different enough in that regard.
You're right. And the only real difference between the bridge and the ladder is that you need, like, you have your purple tinykin that can carry things, and they can't use the ladder, but they can use the bridges. So one of them is more for personal, for your own personal navigation, whereas another one is the tinykin navigation. I agree that doesn't feel like the newest, coolest thing at that point in the game. Certainly not like the other ones, like, oh, these are the ones with electricity that you have to make a chain with. Also think the electricity ones kind of suck in that they it's a very specific range that you can do with them, and you don't get an
if you're off by one, you have to like basically break the chain and start over again.
Yeah. It's not as intuitive as it maybe should be, but you don't have it. Again, it's such a comfortable game. There's no combat. There's no super timing with anything. You just kind of you just kind of play it, and I just like playing it. It goes much fun
for some big things, and it does those big things very well. I guess like my only disappointment is like what I loved, I really loved, and what I was let down by really was just like, man, I want more of this. But tinykin's cool. It looks awesome. It plays really well. I played most of that actually on the cloud. I played the entire thing on the cloud actually on my Steam Deck and had a great time with it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm playing on Switch. It plays fantastically on Switch. No problems there. I'm just a really big fan of it, and you know, I was let down by games like Skatebird earlier that also have this kind of concept of, hey, you're a small bird and you're skating on this geometry in like this boy's bedroom, and that didn't quite do it for me. And I mean, I agree with most of what you're saying, other than the factual thing that you're wrong about at the beginning. But I don't have the problem here. I'm just enjoying my time with it, and I can't wait to get back to it and go through that kid's bedroom and see. It sounds like there are races, and there are. It sounds like there's all sorts of cool stuff to explore in this next room, and I just want to go and do it.
Awesome, man.
Something I want to explore a little bit less, unfortunately, is Tactics Ogre Reborn. I know this is a classic of the genre. We have a quick look of it. It's up. I love tactics games. You know that. Just this one's a little more fiddly than I'd like it to be. And
does it feel old?
It kind of does, which doesn't make sense to me because I know they've added a lot of quality of life improvements. They've changed some of the ways the game works. They've changed some statistics. They've changed some of the abilities that different classes have, and yet it still feels old in a way. I feel like it feels like there's too much tutorialization, and yet I also feel like there are a lot of mechanics that still are not explained well enough, and it's a tough position to be in. I want to like this thing. I want to explore more of what one of these classics of the genre is, and I'm just not having that great of a time in it. I'm still really early. I know there's a lot of stuff that I haven't gotten to experience yet that maybe will start to click. I think it does have some interesting ideas and mechanics in it, but every time I'm playing it, I'm just thinking there's half a dozen other tactics games that I would rather be playing right now. And why aren't I playing those? Well, because they're not games that came out in 2022, and I feel guilty not playing them. I feel guilty playing them instead of something like this, and it kind of bums me out a little bit.
I'm playing it too, and I think that it does feel very slow at the beginning. I've not put much more time into it just because there's a shit ton of other things that are out right now. But from what I've read, it does look like there are some better things that come along on teams, and they're like, you start to use elemental attacks, you start to get quick finishes, your your job systems. It sounds like it really gets dense in a good way.
Yeah,
I think there's
like once you get a beast tamer unit, then you can start recruiting dragons and octopus beasts to be part of your team, and they rule apparently. And I want to get to that point, but it also just feels like, man, there's just it's just kind of slogging through it now, and I'm so early in the game that I don't feel like I should be slogging at this point, and that's kind of rough. Yeah, I don't know. I wish I liked it more. I think another problem is that it doesn't have. It only has a single difficulty to it. There's no options there to tailor my experience in a way that I would like. I also. This is going to sound blasphemous, not to you guys. I don't think you guys care, or you might even agree with me. But I was not the biggest fan of Final Fantasy Tactics either. I just didn't like the.
I love Tactics.
Okay, well then I am blasphemous. I'm sorry. Then you might like this. You might really like Tactics.
You're the man who hates everything except for Tinykin, apparently.
It's true. That's absolutely true.
Wild. What a time.
But it's fiddly in a way that I felt. Final Fantasy Tactics was fiddly as well. I think it's just hard to read the screen as well. The way they have the the different levels of terrain in just this. I think it's just hard to look at. In fact, I think they added an option where you can look from a top-down view, but that's also difficult because that doesn't give you the idea of what the levels are. It just kind of shows where the characters are. It's hard for me to read the screen information and know what's happening. Also a problem they have with the enemy ranges. You know, I mentioned this on the quick look, but in Fire Emblem, you can click on an enemy and you can see this is how far they move, or this is how far, not only how far they move, but how far their attacks go as well. So I know don't put one of my guys in there because they could be attacked, or put my guy in here so he can be the one who gets attacked. Tactics Ogre doesn't have that because the ranges can change based on elevation, and that's cool. It's nice to know that my archer can get up to a higher level and shoot their arrow further, but it for most of the time it leaves me in a situation where I don't know where to put my guys because I have no idea how far the enemy can actually attack, and if I try to check, it is a slow. It's just another slow grind of having to look up every single character, and there are a lot of enemies in these maps, and go, okay, what's his range? Okay, I think I might be okay, and it just. I wish it was a quicker read. I wish it was more legible as I was playing it so I can make better strategic decisions. And I think the game is just so slow with that it makes it really hard to enjoy in a relatively casual way. And I don't want to spend all this time looking up stats and ranges of things and trying to do calculations in my head. I just want to play the video game.
Fair. I think that those are all very fair and valid points. Chase talked about Tinykin. He talked about Shovel Knight Dig, the Lunistis demo, and Lunastice.
That doesn't sound right.
The Tactics Ogre Reborn. Chase, thanks for that update, and I'm happy to hear that you're actually playing something and playing some games you like.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? What a time!
You love.
I'm sure it'll pass. I'm sure it'll pass very soon.
Well, all things must pass.
I've been playing some new things. I've also been playing Tactics, as I called out, but I have not recently been playing Tactics. Probably says a little bit. But I have been playing some A Little to the Left. When you talk about a cozy, cute, atmospheric, hell of a thing, that is what this game is. This game came out... we'll see here. What was the date? I believe it came out November 8th. This is made by Max Inferno, which I believe is a husband and wife duo. This game is out currently on PC and Switch. It will be coming to iOS and Android soon.
Yeah, well, and who knows what soon means, because on November 8th it came out to PC, And then November 9th, they were like, well, it'll come out to Switch soon. And soon meant the next fucking day. So unfortunately, I bought it on, I mean, it's not unfortunate. It'll be fine. But I bought it on Steam because I didn't know when the Switch version was coming out. And now it's out. And I'm like, do I want to spend another $15 on this game?
Yes.
I'll just play it on my PC.
You have a handheld.
Yes, I know.
And a computer.
I know.
Capable of playing this game.
It's true. Yeah, I guess we mentioned that on Monday, but this is the new setup. You guys, these two yahoos, this guy and that guy, one other guy. They finally put this personal computer together. And so now I can sound better with this mic boom, and I can look better with this Logitech
you're glowing
webcam, and this monitor is so big that the webcam is so far up that I'm never actually looking directly into the webcam. But it's still great. This is a fun thing. I'm a PC gamer now.
You are.
Well, that's not true. I haven't actually played a PC game on this yet, but I'm a PC owner now.
Nice. Well, as I was saying, I was been playing a little of the left, and that's been a lot of fun. I think that's a hell of a puzzle game. It's got this is the one that makes you like stack and sort and do all kinds of shit with household items.
And there are multiple ways to finish them, right?
No, there's not.
I heard there were multiple ways to finish some of them.
Well, I mean, you can put things together, but there is a tried and true. I've put them together in a way that advances it forward. I think that there are things that might give you like more stars versus other stars.
Okay, but I'm pretty sure I heard. I'm sorry to interrupt here. I'm pretty sure I heard that there's some places where you can have. Oh, I put all the green leaves on one side and all the red leaves on the other side, and then there's some other ones where I put the leaves from biggest to smallest, and they'll accept both. In different answers. So there's different ways to complete some mission or some of these situations.
Yeah, like as I was saying, it's a situation where it does tie into like some quirks that people might have. Like there's a little OCD elements to this. I think that could be triggered, and I think that everybody might have things that they want them to be packed and organized and tidied up in a way that's more akin to their style. So yeah, maybe they see something as like, I need the colors to be separated. Maybe somebody's like, I need the size to be right. So there's probably a few approaches you can take there. I'm solving these puzzles in a way that I enjoy, in the way that it makes my brain stop itching. And so I typically try to follow those patterns, but it's interesting to hear that there's at least an acknowledgement that everybody might see that like there's the one that's like, hey, there's a bunch of sticker on fruit. You need to peel the stickers off. There's only one way to do that.
Sure.
But some of these might have multiple paths on it for sure. But it's a cool game.
Is this like a cozy WarioWare?
Yes.
That's kind of the vibe I got from this trailer I just watched.
It's on I got it on Steam, Johnny. So if you want to check it out, you can.
Okay.
I mean, there isn't a timer. Games. Yeah, there isn't a timer on any of these, right? Like
That's what I mean, cozy. You just take your time. But you're doing all these random miscellaneous tasks.
Mm-hmm. Have you encountered the cat yet, Bobby?
Yes.
Nice.
The cat has, I'm picking up a lot of cat toys, and the cat also likes to mess with my arrangement of things. And that's like a big inspiration. I have not messed around with, there's something called a daily tidy, where you can just hop on and do something. I'm still working through the story beats on it. I've been playing, like, a lot of stuff came out at once, and been playing some other things alongside this, but it's very cool. It's very relaxing, and I was hoping to play it on my phone. This is something I was going to like treat like my before bed game, play a few rounds as I'm laying in bed, and I'll probably pick it up there eventually. But
it does look like something that would play really well on a phone or an iPad.
Another game that I think I have not played yet. We talked about it a few times, but I saw yesterday that Netflix has put Immortality on iOS, and I think that game might be pretty cool on an iPad. So we'll see.
Yeah, I can believe it.
Outside of a little to the left, I checked out another new game that is called Somerville. Have you either one of you heard about this?
I've heard the name.
Game Pass.
This I'm not very far into it. I would say I've only put like 30 minutes in, but I've heard that this game is only 2 hours to beat. So by 30 minutes into it, I've put a good chunk in. This is I would call it a spiritual successor to a Play Dead game. It feels very much like Inside or Limbo, and it's more War of the Worlds going on, and got some crazy atmospheric stuff on it. I've read ahead a little bit that it might not have the same staying power that opening does, but hot damn, that opening, like, to get you on your goings is really fucking impactful. Like, I would even say has some moments of the year, and just how well they do some things with that. It's got a cool style to it, kind of a low poly look.
It's great look.
It is on Game Pass. That's where I'm checking this out. And for a 2-hour commitment, I think why the heck not? But I do like the Play Dead games and the puzzling that goes into it. There is some supernatural. I mean, obviously there's aliens and shit, but you as a person, there's some supernatural stuff there. So yeah, Somerville just came out recently. That is made by, what are they called? Jump Ship? Yeah, November 14th.
It's actually is a studio headed by one of the co-founders of Play Dead.
Oh, really?
Patty.
There you go. That makes some sense.
That makes a lot of sense, for sure. So if you enjoy Play Dead games, this is one that you should probably not let slip too far out of reach. Seems like a very short experience to check out, and I'm excited for more of that. Another game that just hit Game Pass. We're feasting over here on Game Pass, boys. Pentiment is out from Obsidian, and this is a very interesting and wild game. I've got probably like an hour and a half in. It just came out, I believe, yesterday.
Yeah. So you're maybe like 30 minutes ahead of where I am, because I also played some of this yesterday.
This is a very well written, well designed. It's got a gorgeous art style, very like Renaissance era, just fucking old English ass.
Yeah, it's like the illustrations you would see inside of like a medieval Bible or something, and it's set in Bavaria, which would be Germany.
Yep.
And you're playing as an artist,
a journeyman artist.
Yes, not a master yet, because he has to marry, and set up his own shop. But it also has some RPG elements in it, which I thought was like, I saw a trailer for this whenever it was first announced, and that was basically all I knew about it.
Yeah.
But Josh Sawyer was the director, who was I think the lead on Fallout New Vegas, and he said like this was like a dozen people, right, made this game.
Super small portion of Obsidian. Yeah.
So what are you thinking so far, Bobby?
I think it's really cool. It's a game where you are presented multiple choices that you can impact on. It doesn't really give you like a morality gauge on like what you're saying, but it'll be like, hey, they will remember this.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool. And like based off how you answer, they can do those things. The other thing that I really like is how they've, rather than just like, hey, we're going to dump everything on the table, like pick your origin, pick your background. Like as you're progressing through the story and you're catching up with people, they'll be like, oh, you've been studying abroad. Like, what were you studying? And then you have to pick what you learned.
What did you pick?
Shit, what did I pick? I didn't do the occult. I did something with supernatural.
I wish I picked occult. Yeah.
I kind of wish I did too. I studied in Italy, and
so did I.
I thought, because I thought the dialect choices that would come from like what you would learn, because that's the other thing, like your background of where you studied will allow you to be able to have new dialogue branches based off of what people are talking about, how they're speaking. So you get some things, and it's like Venice, Italy, and all that. I thought might attribute to something a little bit more cool here. I did law. I think
law.
Yeah.
Okay. Same. I also did law.
Yeah.
And I think I did logic.
I think I did those two.
You guys just copy each other's notes?
Yeah, don't copy too much.
Oh, speaking of notes,
Oh my god, dude!
Things this game does.
Yes. It's fucking awesome.
In the dialogue, it's all like handwritten, right? And it's each person has their own unique script. But there'll be like a name of a person or some other proper noun or something. And if you click on it, it zooms out, and it's like what's happening on the game screen is a drawing inside of a book, and on the edges of the book, it'll give an explanation of what that thing is.
You didn't say the best part.
The fingers?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like the image will be in the center of the book, but then like there's a hand with like however far away it is, there's just an extending finger.
It's the thing longer from Futurama, basically.
Yes, it is basically that. The other thing that's really fucking cool about that, Johnny, is it's like usually locations and people. So if it's a person, when you zoom out to like see the codex, it'll just show you the image of the person for the name. But they had the word God came up. I'm like, this will be interesting. Let me see what they say about God. And when I zoomed out, there was nothing there except a cat with a fire burning kettle that was supposed to be a jetpack with rope tied around it. And I was like, all right, Obsidian, that's a pretty good God. I'll give you that. But it seems really good. The writing is really well done. Yeah. There seems to be some wild shit that's going to unfold with this. And Obsidian does a fantastic job on telling stories and writing in a way that feels provocative, and I'm excited for it. I thought it looked really cool. I did not expect it to be like this deep in its writing and like what it's doing with some stuff. So Game Pass, it seems like you can play this about anywhere. I think it'd be a fine cloud streaming game as well.
Yeah, it's also on Steam. You guys are playing it on Game Pass, so you're getting it for quote unquote free with your Game Pass subscription. It's $20 if you want to pay for it. It's there.
Yeah, it's really neat.
It's cool to get a surprise Obsidian game, because it seemed like it was all hands on deck for Grounded. And that it would still be that way, or we know
they have Avowed, Outer Worlds 2, like they're very busy over there. So the fact that this small little group of people was able to break off and make this weird niche game is very, very cool.
Was that a tweet that you shared with me today, Johnny, where somebody from Obsidian was basically like, if it wasn't for Game Pass,
Josh Sawyer. He's like, if Game Pass didn't exist, I never would have gotten to make this game. Because it is so, like, for a studio like Obsidian, like it's so, like, it's set with like 15th century art is what it's going for, and so it's really cool. I want to play some more of it. Chase, I think if you have the time,
it's definitely high on the list. I mean, I love Obsidian stuff, and I have a PC, and it seemed like Bobby, not so subtly was like, oh, hey, by the way, here's a code for 1 month of PC Game Pass.
2 months.
Was it 2 months? Okay. Yeah. And he might as well have just said, by the way, use it for Pentiment, you piece of shit.
Norco just got added back on there too. So
do what?
Norco just got added to Game Pass.
Norco.
Oh, well, I already own Norco on Steam, but I understand. Yes.
Yeah, you know the assignment. So that's Pentiment. We're going to record a quick look at that tomorrow, and we'll post that next week sometime. But it's really cool. Obsidian rules, man. They're just like, between this and Grounded, this year has been a very good year for Obsidian. Okay, last thing I'm going to talk about, and Johnny, I know you've been playing this.
You motherfuckers.
I thought we had a pact. Look, I know we need to get to the Pokemon bracket, so for this part, we're going to go fast.
We got to go fast.
I hate it.
Cue the somber piano music. We're talking about Sonic Frontiers, baby.
Sonic Stranding.
You guys like this?
Yes.
You guys like this game?
I like this game.
What happened?
It's here's what's going on. I've talked about this to both of you, and it's on the quick look. And for
Quick Look goes up tomorrow.
Quick Look goes up tomorrow.
Or yesterday, if you're listening to the archive.
anybody who's watching, what I'm about to say is this is probably not a great game. Might not even be a good one. Certainly not a bad game. Maybe it's a bad game. It is
interesting. Yes.
It's an interesting, fascinating, and an incredibly bold direction for a character that's been around since the 90s to go. And as somebody who has made an obsession out of a hobby to the point where we have streams and we do all this bullshit for this show that is just like out of pure enjoyment for us, and we talk about video games, they took a risk on something, and in a lot of ways I think it works really well. I think there's some cool shit happening with it. There's some absurd and some very dumb shit happening with Sonic right now. There has been some dumb shit for a while.
Forever.
But
as
this
Chase can attest to, I'm sure.
This is a very fascinating world that when you're in it and it's working to your benefit, which happens more times than not, it feels very fucking cool to be there. And I think that they have basically just shaken the Lego box and dumped it all out and been like, these pieces kind of match up. Let's put them over here. Maybe if you connect this, it'll make some sense. It's a lot of content, but maybe not a lot of continuity. And I think that there's some interesting things that they're going for, but I'm having a good time with it. I did not see this on my bingo card this year. And
I think a lot of trailers before the game actually came out left a lot of people, certainly me, feeling
we
very
roasted
down on
this game.
This is not this is not what I want from Sonic.
About this.
You both backstabbed me and bought it and like it.
This
so
might be like one of the biggest, like, I don't know if this is a compliment because of I'm not trying to like say the quality is what's alluding to this, but I'm playing the game I've played the most. I'm not talking about this week is God of War. I've put a lot of time into God of War.
Same here.
But I have been spending time while God of War Ragnarok is out playing Sonic Frontiers. And I think that probably speaks volumes to what's going on with this game. At least for me, it does. And I don't know. Like, I think the world looks muddy and shitty at times, but the puzzles are oftentimes juvenile and generic and dumb. But there's a part of my brain that's like, you want to keep building this map. You want to go fast. You want to go fast.
Going fast is fun. And it's the items, as out of place as they look in the world, are still fun to interact with.
Yeah.
And it's like, in a lot of ways, it is kind of not ugly in like a visual way, but like there's like pop in and, you know, like
it's built on stilts.
It is just, I don't know, like it's one of the most interesting things I've played this year.
Chase, I think that you should play this game.
Yeah, I know you do, and honestly, the quick look it interested me, fascinated me, and it seems like some of the things in the game work, some of them definitely don't, but regardless, you have to respect how much they're going for it in a way that Nintendo doesn't go for it with Mario. Because Mario feels like it has to be certain things, and yes, they can push it here and there in different ways, but Mario still kind of feels like Mario. Yeah, you took Mario to space, but it still kind of was just Mario. Good, and then that's a good thing. I'm not saying Mario Galaxy is bad or anything like that, or Odyssey's bad, but Sonic is definitely going way out of its comfort zone here, and it doesn't not work.
I don't think that this is like the gospel truth by any means, but I do want to pull up something that I think is interesting. Currently on Steam,
I was just about to say this.
Take it. Go for it.
It is at almost 7,000 reviews. 95% are positive. So it has an overwhelmingly positive score on Steam.
Didn't see that coming either.
This is weird.
Yeah.
It's such a weird backwards world we live in.
Yeah. I'm glad that I played this game, because it made me eat my words that I said. Like Bobby said, I don't know if this is like I don't know if this is a good game or not, but it's definitely one of the most interesting ones I played this year for sure.
Absolutely.
But also, I want to say, you know, I haven't played this personally. I've just watched it being played. You guys seem to enjoy it. So good on you, Sega. But also, make Sonic Mania 2. Don't feel like this is the only Sonic thing you can make now.
That's still happening, right? That's in development, isn't it?
Is it? Is it? I thought there was kind of a falling out with Christian Whitehead. Maybe I got that wrong, but I don't think Mania 2 is on the horizon. If I'm wrong, I'd love to be wrong.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's an article from last October saying it's said to have been scrapped. So
yeah.
Damn.
That's unfortunate.
It is. It is. That's the Sonic I really, really want, but I'm still glad. Like that's the thing though. I want them to go for it while also having the other thing in mind. And it seemed like they were doing that for a little while, and now they're kind of not. But I don't know. I mean, they're making more Sonic games than Capcom's making Mega Man games, right? So that's something.
So just to recap what I covered tonight, I talked about A Little to the Left. I talked about Somerville Pentiment and Sonic Frontiers. Johnny, it looks like we had some overlap, but it looks like you got some other new stuff to talk about.
Yeah. I'll make this brief so we can move on to the main event. But the big Call of Duty update dropped today, Warzone 2.0. The Battle Pass unlocked, and they rolled out the all-new map for Warzone, along with their DMZ mode, which is what I spent the most time playing today, which is like this baby's first escape from Tarkov, I would say. It's
Does DMZ in this context stand for Demilitarized Zone?
I assume that's the only abbreviation I'm aware of for that, but
also it sounds very militarized. It's kind of a misnomer on that one. Okay.
So if you're unfamiliar, Tarkov, or in this case DMZ, it is PvE,
PvEVP.
Yeah, thank you. You're not actively seeking out other players. They're just there on the map with you. You're mainly fighting NPCs, and you're dropped in at a random location on the map, and you are finding loot, and basically anything you find and leave with goes back to your stash. If you die, everything you have on you that isn't insured, which can be one gun, you can lock 2 other spots for equipment that you can insure, is just gone forever. And even if you die and you have an insured gun, there's a timer on it for like 2 hours or something before it's retrieved. If you run out of equipment in your stash, which definitely happened to me, they'll give you a free, like a random gun to start with and a sidearm. So you're not completely screwed. It drops you in with three people total, or you can go solo, which I don't recommend because it gets real hairy.
Sure.
And basically you're finding weapons, you're getting cash that you can use at certain stores to buy new equipment or weapons. There are vehicles on the map. There are events and strongholds and contracts. There's a lot going on with this. And I've barely scratched the surface of everything that is in there, but like you can find keys to get into buildings that are located on random spots on the map. There's also like a radiation zone, and as the timer goes on, it gets more and more radiated until eventually you just need to extract or die.
Until Swamp Thing shows up.
Yeah. There's also I forget what they call it, but there's like it's kind of like I would equate it to like the Dark Zone in the Division. Like you go there, there's going to be more heavily armored enemies. Also, there's someone in a Juggernaut outfit who just completely just.
Oh, it's like the Darth Vader zone in Fortnite.
Yes, exactly like that, Chase.
Yes.
I went there a couple times and it did not end well for me. So I think this is a game mode where you really need to like spend some time just focusing on getting good gear and extracting with it, so you have a nice cache built up, and work on like maybe taking on these strongholds or these other places that also have good loot, and then work your way up towards, okay, well, we're going to take on the Juggernaut now.
But also, this is Call of Duty. Like it plays like Call of Duty. It looks like Call of Duty. That's wild.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's really weird. It's still in beta.
This is a whole separate mode.
Yeah.
Okay. Does this and or Warzone have a third person mode like the
Warzone does?
Okay.
Warzone has a third person mode that you can play in, which I have not tried yet.
That third person stuff still, I feel like I'm harping on it when that's just a small part of it, but I think that is the wildest thing I've heard about Call of Duty in a long time, is that they added a mode where you can play it in third person. That's nuts.
It's very, very strange. I need to find someone else to play the DMZ stuff with me, because there is an assault rifle that you can only get in the radiated zone from an enemy called the Chemist.
I'm a pilot. I can fly.
Great. We'll try and do it.
Is this also free? Warzone's free, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Free with Battle Pass
stuff? So the DMZ stuff is part of Warzone, and that and regular Warzone are both free to play.
Is it only duos, or can you do up to 3 people?
It's 3 people, so I would assume like if we were in a party, it would try and find a third for us. But I don't know, because I've only played solo and I've played with randoms. So
nice.
That
Warzone
game
2.0
continues to impress. I like that game a whole bunch, and I saw some stats that like today had almost 500,000 concurrent players on Steam, which is way more than it had with Vanguard last year. So I think it's safe to say that they bounced back from their mistakes of last year. So looking forward to playing lots more of that, probably on the stream at some point with me and Bobby. I know it's a little sweatier than
Sweaty Betty's
he's accustomed to, but I think we can still have a good time. All right.
Hell yeah. Shall we?
Yeah. So in celebration of the new Pokemon games coming out this week, I was thinking we should do something Pokemon related, and we're all cynical assholes here, so
no.
I thought why not make a bracket to determine who the worst Pokemon is. Now, we did this for all video game characters. This is just Pokemon. So what each of us has done is given a list of 6 Pokemon. I have thrown them into this bracket and shuffled it a bunch of times. So
should I open the bracket now? I've purposely not looked at the bracket.
Okay.
I think that we should try and guess who's put what up.
Okay. So I should open this bracket now?
Yeah, and Bobby, are you able to click Start Tournament? Will it let you do that? Or do I have to?
You have to. I don't see a way to do that.
Okay.
Wow, some of you motherfuckers are really wrong.
No.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. We'll get there. We'll get there. All right.
I hope you're ready for a very pretentious Chase Kennedy here in just a second. It's going to get
Kennedy. Wow, that sounds delicious.
He's about to light us up, everybody. Get ready for it.
All right.
I wrote notes.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
You just can't talk through it.
All right. So up first, we have Aromatisse and Delibird.
That's the first. That's not what I'm showing on what we have.
Yeah, that's not what I see either. What
do you
bracket
watch?
Do you have?
I have the
one that Bobby has pulled up. Maybe you should reload your bracket.
This is literally the one that you had in the document.
Because we have Cinderace getting a first round bye,
which is dumb.
Which is dumb.
One.
I don't know how that happened.
I just put a different link in there.
Okay.
I don't know why.
You put a different link, you said?
It's the same bracket.
I see now. Yep.
Okay, hang on.
I see the one you're doing.
Is it the?
It's the bottom one. The bottom.
Okay, there we
link
go.
that he's got there. Yep. Okay.
We're in
Aromatisse versus Delibird in the play-in game here.
I think that Johnny picked Delibird.
I did. I fucking hate Delibird.
I had Delibird on my list and then went, he's fine compared to the other ones I hated, but yeah.
I mean, I don't know much about Aromatisse. I haven't used it a whole lot. It's a fairy type, I know. But I mean,
like that either.
Would you like to know about Aromatisse?
Yes, please tell me.
Okay. One, I mean, I feel like, Bobby, we should also have a way. I don't want to make you do extra work here.
Photos on here.
Yeah, I feel like we need to see Aromatisse to really know how fucking terrible this thing is. But Aromatisse, it's this mess of things. Bulbapedia even tries to say, hey, here's what this thing might be. And the things they list that it might be are a powder puff that you'd use for like makeup, a plague doctor, because it's got this weird bird hook nose thing like the plague doctor mask.
Chase,
what else?
Here's the thing. It's not worse than Delibird.
It looks like a flamenco or a can dancer, and it's an owlbear, a thing from D&D. Nobody really knows what this thing's supposed to be. The biggest problem with Aromatisse, though, and we could talk about Delibird. I'm happy to hear Delibird and stuff, but the problem with Aromatisse is getting one, because this thing started in Pokemon X and Y when fairy types are introduced, and this is a pure fairy type, as Bobby said. You can only get one by trading a Spritzy that's holding a sachet, and that sachet is a very rare item that is only easily accessible in one of the two games. It's such a piece of shit hard thing to get, and also it sucks. It's also like a pair. There's Aromatisse, and then the other one is Slurpuff. Slurpuff is a cute little cheesecake looking dog. He's beautiful. I love Slurpuff. Aromatisse is a fucking nightmare to look at. It's so gross. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Dude, it's not worse than a fucking bird trying to be Santa Claus.
What's wrong with Delibird? What don't you like about Delibird? You just don't like the way it looks?
I don't like. Yeah, Chase, you didn't read the assignment, my friend. You can get trumped by it. You can get trumped on something looking stupid, and this bird looks dumb.
He looks pretty fucking stupid.
He looks stupid. He only knows one move.
Yeah. There you go. That's stuff. Tell me things about Delibird. I don't have to tell
that, Chase. You're gonna hate me. I do not have to do that. All I have to tell you is this thing looks like dog shit, and that's good enough reason.
Delibird has one of the best mini games in Pokemon Stadium 2.
That doesn't help your case.
Yeah, I think it does. I think it does. I also don't like Delibird. I think he's a pain in the ass to use, and Present is one of the worst moves in Pokemon in that it can sometimes just heal the opponent. It's bad. It's a bad thing. I think it can learn Fly though. That's useful.
I just love that Johnny said, "Hey, if you just don't like the way it looks, that's good enough reason to not like a Pokemon."
Sure. I also don't like the way Aromatisse looks, and you won't pull up a photo, so you can't see the horrors.
No, Chase, I'm not going to do more work on this House of Cards tonight. I'm going to enjoy the show.
I'm fine with Delibird moving on, but Aromatisse sucks.
I agree.
And I traded my Aromatisse to somebody without realizing how rare it was, and then had to go back and replay. I can't remember if it was X or Y, but I had to replay a whole fucking game to get another one. It was a piece of shit. I fucking hate that Pokemon.
Noted. And I got news for you. Every Pokemon we talk about tonight sucks.
Yeah.
So they all suck.
They do. I think Aromatisse sucks for many more reasons than Delibird does, but
all right.
I'll live if Delibird moves on in this bracket.
Moving on.
You gotta hit the thing. You gotta pick Delibird, Johnny.
I did.
It has not updated in the bracket.
Yeah, Delibird moves on to face
Pure. We have to each do this individually?
You have to refresh.
Okay. I see it now.
All right. Next up, Stunfisk versus...
That's not the one I have. What are you doing?
Johnny, I just want you to open up our stream.
Oh, I see. Scroll all the way down to the bottom.
It's another play-in. Okay.
Okay. Johnny picked Stunfisk.
I did. Fuck Stunfisk. I hate that Pokemon. It's
pretty bad. Pretty bad.
And Togedemaru?
Yep.
Yes, that is a ball, right? A little gray ball.
It's that electric steel. It's a Pikachu ripoff. It's another Pikachu ripoff. Okay,
I might hate that more. I might.
Yeah, you don't have to I don't even have to hear about it. I know it. Like I know that's worse than Stunkfist.
I'm voting against my Pokemon.
Here's the thing. I think
we'll probably talk about Togedemaru later if we have a real debate here. But yes, Togedemaru sucks.
Yeah,
Stunfisk also sucks, but
that's like Stunfisk is like the free space on a bingo card.
Stunfisk has a fun. Is it the Alola version? That's like the bear trap. I think that one's pretty cool. I give it points for having a cool Alolan version.
Yes,
but yes, normal Stunfisk. Not a big fan.
Normal Stunfisk looks like that old weed commercial where it's like she just lays there.
I mean, it's evocative of the animal it's going after.
I know, but I hate it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Should we go back up to the top?
I suppose so. Yes.
Let me refresh this and make sure it takes. Okay. Yeah. Let's just go to the top and go down.
All right. Pure Ugly and Delibird.
Pure Ugly.
I think it's Perugly, but I do like calling it Pure Ugly.
Because it is. It's pure ugly.
It is Pure Ugly. You're right about that. Bobby, did you put Perugly?
Did I pick Perugly? No.
Yeah, I did. These are both my picks.
Has none of Bobby's picks have shown up yet? We haven't talked about any of Bobby's picks. Okay. Cool.
I don't know which one I hate more. I think Delibird is more useless. Like you could probably do something with a Perugly in your party.
You can. I mean, remember when we did our Nuzlocke of Shining Pearl? There's one of the Team Galactic trainers who has a Perugly that's a tough fight. It's a tough early game fight. So it is useful.
This thing's a brick shit house, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's got those kinked whiskers and
it's like a
face.
It goes from like Taylor Swift's Cat performance to basically oh Lord, he's coming. Like this thing,
like Glameow looks like a glamorous
it looks
cat.
Like a Rule 34 search.
Yeah. It's got like its big springy tail, and then it just turns into this beefcake thing, and you're like, what the fuck is this?
This thing looks like that one fucking character from Dodgeball on the opposing team that just fucking annihilates people.
A Russian?
Yes.
I will give Perugly this. This is very anecdotal, but I once had one get traded to me in like the Wonder Trading, and the one that came to me had been nicknamed by its previous trainer, and it was nicknamed Meowmix 3000. And I'm like, you know what? I'm keeping this thing. I love that.
Here's my 2 cents. I would much rather take a Pure Ugly with me than a Delibird.
Yeah, I think Delibird moves on here.
All right, I think I'm in agreement.
I still think Aromatisse would move on. All right, for both of these, but at this point, yes, Delibird is the choice.
I'm up against Chase here.
Delibird is the word.
So how do you know that?
Johnny could have picked Moltres.
No, that's a Chase ass fucking pick.
Okay. Well, I'm guessing Boltund is there because it took away your pure
one of the worst evolutions in all of Pokemon.
I think Boltund is totally fine, but you're right in that we had a darling little corgi. Yeah. And then Boltund is not that, and therefore bad. But I think the Pokemon, minus the context, is fine.
I had a Boltund in my party for most of Sword.
It's a very early electric type in that game, and it's a useful thing. However, what is the corgi's name? I forgot.
Yamper.
Yeah,
Yamper. Yes,
it's got a very good name.
It's a good name. Good butt.
I would argue on a technical level as well that it's a far worse Pokemon to have in your party than a Moltres.
It depends. I would actually fight you on that if we're talking Gen 1, which is why I put Moltres here. I know Moltres works better in other gens, but Moltres is one of the worst Gen 1 Pokemon for a multitude of reasons. One, it only learns 5 moves through level up. None of those 5 are all that good. It learns, let's see here, it learns Peck, pretty bad fire move, or bad flying move.
Also,
it learns.
If anyone wasn't aware, it's a legendary.
It's one of the legendaries. It should be one of the best Pokemon, and it's just not. It learns Peck. It learns Fire Spin. Fire Spin kind of sucks. Yeah, you can do some cheesy shit in Gen 1 with it. It learns Leer, which is a move you should get rid of on every Pokemon pretty much as soon as you can. It has Agility, which is fine, but it's already got pretty good speed, so what do you need to make it speedier for? And it has Sky Attack, which is a terrible 2-turn flying move. It's bad. It can't even learn Flamethrower. Flamethrower is the best fire move to use because it has actual power points, whereas Fire Blast doesn't. It sucks. And also, you get one at the end of the game. It's in the last dungeon. It's in Victory Road.
It's a legendary.
So then there's only one place that you can use it, and that's the Pokemon League, the Elite Four, where it dies to Lorelei because she has ice Pokemon, which it should be good against, but they all have water moves. It dies to Bruno, who has rock Pokemon. It can do fine against Agatha, maybe, and then it dies to Lance, who resists all of its fire moves, and then has a Gyarados who will murder it, and then I guess it could technically be okay against Champion.
That's all right, man. I mean, like, if that's what you want to say is that you don't care about my dogs, like
I like Boltund though. I like Boltund. It's just I get it. I get your point in that they took away your sweet baby boy, but Boltund is a fine Pokemon on its own.
Ultra sucks.
Also, it's it's just a chicken that's on fire. It looks terrible. You had somebody wrote down
the guy that eats fucking hot
fire, which should be
chicken
rad.
Sandwiches every time we hang out. I guess you hate hot chicken now.
I don't want to eat Pokemon.
I'd eat fucking Moltres. I'd eat Moltres for lunch, dinner, and a snack.
The assignment was make a bird that's on fire, which is bad fucking ass. And they came out with terrible looking chicken. It sucks. It fucking sucks.
All right, give it to Moltres. The next one up is another Chase pick and my pick.
I don't think Vanillish is on my list.
It's mine.
Oh, it's yours. Oh yeah. Okay. So are you guessing, or do you actually know these?
I know you, and I know Johnny. I can fucking fill this entire bracket off of who picked what.
Okay, well, if you're so smart, why did I put Rhyperior here?
Because it's a pretentious ass pick, and you don't think he's as cool as you think this is a stupid looking upgrade, which you feel mostly about any sort of steel or rock type evolution. For the most part, you think they all look
That's
stupid.
Not true. Steelix is one of my favorite Pokemon.
But Rhyperior in no way, shape, and form is a worse Pokemon than Vanillish, which is the least inspired fucking design I have seen in a big time. And you're going to try and give some big fucking soapbox production around, well, he has to have this to do this, and he looks stupid. He doesn't have that. It's a fucking ice cream. It's an ice cream cone, Chase. That fucking drools. It sucks. It's terrible. It looks fucking creepy. It's got dead eyes.
Is Vanillish the worst one, though?
It could be the fucking pus sack full gremlin popping off of the back of the other one. I don't care. It's eating its fucking conjoined twin.
I think that Rhydon looks cooler
than Rhyperior.
True.
But I feel like I could make good use of Rhyperior, whereas Vanillish, I've never wanted one of those in my party. The first time I saw it, I was like, what's this piece of shit?
I mean, I'm okay with Vanillish moving on. Vanillish is like a classic bad Pokemon. My problem with Rhyperior is, yes, it looks dumber than Rhydon, but also that's a big deal. Rhydon's the first Pokemon that was ever made, like ever designed. Like this is what Pokemon is. It's a Rhydon, and it always has looked cool. And then they just added a bunch of bullshit to it and said, "Is it better?"
I guess honestly, they should have gave one to Ash if they felt that passionate about it.
It's not even better. It's right. Rhyperior actually, in some ways, is worse than Rhydon, stat wise. Like you can get more defense on a Rhydon than you can on a Rhyperior if you play it right, which is how you should be playing a Rhydon because that's what it's known for. I don't know. I think it fucking sucks. They made it a trade evolution. Trade evolutions always suck. It's a trade evolution with an item, which sucks even more. And all for a bad Pokemon. But yes, I'm willing to say Vanillish is worse. I think maybe even the worst thing about Vanillish is that it takes up 3 slots. You took sucks. 3 Pokemon away by doing this.
It sucks so bad.
I don't know why you have a 3-stage evolution for this. Like
it's so dumb, dude.
It's pretty bad. I'm fine with Vanillish moving on, but I do fucking hate Rhyperior.
Hey, heard. All Johnny, right. Market 0. The next one is going to be me versus Johnny.
Wobbuffet versus Plusle / Minoon.
Why'd you pick them, Johnny?
Because they fucking suck. They're pointless.
It's a Pikachu ripoff?
It's a Pikachu ripoff. It took 2 slots of new Pokemon to make... They already have a small Pikachu. It's called Pichu.
True.
Why the fuck do we need
are you sure that you picked them for those reasons, or are you just following the trend of every top 10 list of bad Pokemon out there?
You're the one who put in Vanillish.
I didn't look at any top 10.
Vanillish is not on majority of them. It's on a lot of them, but not like some of these.
I didn't look at any. I just
I went through the
Wikipedia and went through every Pokemon and went, these are the ones that suck the most. And then it was very hard to narrow that list down to just 6 that I had to choose for this.
The whole deck's pulled up in a tab, and I was just scrolling through. I was very tempted to look and see, once I made my picks, how similar it was to, like, you know, if IGN or someone made a list, but I didn't look at any of that stuff. It's just, Plusle and Mino are probably 2 of the most cynical Pokemon designs that they've made.
They're so
lazy.
I'm saying lazy dev, but they are feeling lazy. Like Pichu at least is part of the Pikachu line. When you get to Gen 3 and they're like, I don't know, here are 2 more Pikachus, but they don't actually evolve into Pikachu. They have nothing to do with Pikachu. Like, then why'd you make these? What's the point of these things? I guess they're good with Helping Hand, but that's not a good reason. Don't do that.
Wobbuffet, I actually have warm feelings for.
Wobbuffet's a beautiful Pokemon. He's a beautiful boy.
It's terrible. No. And specifically the female variant looks like they are just fucking holding in or letting out. No, it's not. It's not at all. It's not at all. And this Pokemon is fucking dumb. It's got some black goo coming out of it with eyes. It looks...
tail. Oh, it's a tail, yeah.
Yeah, let's just put eyes on the tail.
It's there to it's what I don't know what animal Wobbuffet's supposed to be, but the idea is like it's fake.
Not supposed to be anything.
It's fake face to trap. I don't know. I think Wobbuffet's fine. I think Wobbuffet's fun. No. I don't ever want to use one, but I think Wobbuffet's fun.
It looks like
really
a butt
enjoyed
plug.
The J Rose video where he tried to use Wobbuffet to beat Gold and Silver. That was a fun video.
It looks ridiculous. And you talk about, like, I don't disagree about these 2 little wannabe Pikachus, but this thing, like literally this thing, it looks like somebody who left a fucking drink ring on their paper while they were drawing other Pokemon. Like, oh fuck, that's cool. Let me just put this on it. It looks dumb.
I will say it's not fun to use. It's also not fun to fight because it has arena trap, or like it forces you can't switch out in battle, and then it also has counter and mirror coat, so there's always a chance that it will absolutely destroy you with your own move back at you. What are its other 2 moves? I can't remember, but it has like a set of 4 moves, and those are the only moves it can use. Shocking, Bobby didn't do the homework. But
I don't need to know the word. I did my part, Chase. I said it doesn't look good.
I don't think you made a good enough case, because I think Plusle and Minoon are absolutely worse than Wobbuffet.
Well, that's your opinion. And that's why this doesn't work, because it's a subjective, not skill-based tournament. So it doesn't really matter.
It's what the 3 of us think, and I think 2 of us agree that Plusle and Minoon are worse than Wobbuffet.
It's really...
Move on.
No. We're not moving on. We're not moving on yet. Because
the die has been cast.
We're not moving on from this point of the conversation. We're going to let that one go. What I'm saying is that you can go in and be like, oh, I don't like Moltres because it does this. Johnny be like, yeah, I agree with that. It still looks like a cool Pokemon. We can.
I don't think it does. I absolutely don't think it looks like a cool Pokemon.
See, here's why it doesn't work, because it's now what you think versus this or that. So it's fun.
Yeah, that's why we have 3 people here, so we can have somebody to say yes or no to the other one.
Sure, you got it.
And you got outvoted here, whereas I got outvoted on Delibird.
And I don't have a problem with Wobbuffet.
I think he's a beautiful little boy. I just don't like using him.
Right. I think whatever it is fucking terrible. And so there we are. But hey, market.
I think Why Not is a bad Pokemon. Like, why'd you give a baby form to Wobbuffet, a Pokemon that never needed a baby form? That's pointless and terrible. Wobbuffet's fine, bad enough already. Why'd you have to make a second worse Pokemon?
That's fine. Move your little.
That was not the option.
Move. Which one are you moving forward? Because is it both of them?
I mean, they're the same thing. They both suck. I think Minun is technically worse in its design, but they're both bad.
Fair.
Okay. Next up, Golem versus Alomomola.
Yeah, you don't even know how to say it. It's so bad.
Alomomola.
Alomomola. Yes. It's supposed to be like Aloha, but also Mom, but also a palindrome. Fuck that Pokemon. It's a baby wheel.
Bobby, you put Golem, right? Because I know I didn't.
I didn't put Golem.
I put Golem.
I agree that Golem sucks.
Golem is probably one of the most disappointing evolutions from a really cool, really, really fucking cool Pokemon. It goes from 4 arms seemingly back down to a crusty ass fucking dirt ball instead of a rock. It really looks like soil that has been barren. Like, it looks like what the Mississippi River would look like if it dried up. And you put these fucking terrible, like, dinosaur head on top of this thing that was once like this gigantic fucking just creature piece of boulder, like
living rock.
Yes, it's so stupid. It is one of the ugliest fucking Pokemon. It's got a terrible shiny. It doesn't benefit from that, and again, it's a user transfer fucking evolution, which is a bummer.
I don't even like its Alolan form, or it gets like its little beard and it gets its big Volt cannon. It still looks bad. Like Graveler, I wish Game Freak figured the fuck out what they want a Graveler to look like, because sometimes it has 4 arms, sometimes it has 2 faces, and then sometimes it only has the 2 arms and 1 face. Like, what the fuck are you doing with this Pokemon? But it always looked cool, and then this fucking thing with a duck face shows up, and like, I hate this. Golem sucks.
And I feel like the fish you picked is dumb, but I mean, I love it. It's just a fucking wannabe Love Disc, and Love Disc is a dumber Pokemon than this.
Well, I mean, that's one. I don't agree with that. I think Love Disc at least has a design. I don't think this has, like, this is just weak. Also, I picked Alomomola. Fuck, I hate this fucking name. They just made a palindrome for fun and it ruined everything. But like, this is my pick because it stands in for all the other waste of space water Pokemon, of which there are many. But this one it has bad stats. It has bad special attack, and when you're a water type, you use water moves, which often are special attacks. So it's not even good at the thing it should be good at. The fact that it's a solo Pokemon, that it has no evolution, that a Love Disc doesn't evolve into this when they're both pink dumb fish, like at least give it a reason to be alive. But no, they made it a different basic shit Pokemon. It's not good. It's not good. I think ocean sunfish are a cool fish. It's a cool looking fish. And then they said, what if we made one in Pokemon? I'm like, yeah, okay. And then they gave us this.
Yeah.
The whole thing was
right. Golem is worse.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
I'm fine with Golem moving on. That's why I just had to make the case for a Alomomola here, because it's also bad, very bad.
Again, every Pokemon on here is bad. Yep. we can at least agree on that. They're all bad.
No, they're not all bad. I see one here that I think is a good Pokemon. In fact, I've seen 2 so far that I actually think are good Pokemon.
Okay,
but we'll get to them.
Okay. Next up, Palpitoad versus Igglybuff.
Why'd you pick Igglybuff, Johnny?
I didn't.
I picked Igglybuff. Ha! Get fucked, Bobby. You missed one.
I would have, but Chase picked it before me.
Palpitoad wins this one, Chase. We don't have to have this conversation. Let me tell you why. Because Palpitoad,
we do need to have a conversation.
Looks like we don't have to have a conversation here. Palpitoad is what happens if you take Tithead from Little Nicky and he fucks the cranked up frog meme from the early 2000s. You get fucking Palpitoad, and it's one of the dumbest little fucking
you mean Crazy Frog?
Crazy Frog. And Tithead
Crazy Frog
from fucking Little Nicky had a love child. It's this piece of shit Pokemon. And it goes on to be even a bigger piece of shit. But this piece of shit with its really fucking weird head, I hate this thing so much.
Oh yeah, this is the middle one. Sorry, I got this mixed up with the final evolution, which I think the final evolution looks fine. And water ground is a good typing. I think there are much better water ground Pokemon like Quagsire or like what's the Shellos Gastrodon. Yeah, I mean, I like using Seismitoad, but I agree. Polypitoad, whatever, Palpitoad, whatever, that thing kind of sucks. Igglybuff sucks though, because it's the torchbearer for baby Pokemon that are terrible, that are useless, that were added to the well, they were added to the game in Gold and Silver, or Igglybuff at least was. And yet you don't find Igglybuff out in the world. It's not like, oh, here's a better way to make the Jigglypuff line have a smoother level curve to it. You still just find Jigglypuff in the world, so there's no point in getting an Igglybuff, and the only way you can get one is by breeding. So why would you breed to get a worse Pokemon that then you have to get the friendship mechanic up? I also hate evolving by friendship to just get a Jigglypuff, which also still sucks. I think this is the ugliest of the baby Pokemon. There are some other pretty bad baby Pokemon too, but this one I think is the worst, and it has, again, terrible stats, terrible move pool. Igglybuff is so bad. It's so bad it has zero purpose. I get that Palpitoad looks bad. It does. You're right. It's at least a useful Pokemon, and I've used one to get to Seismitoad, which I think is an okay Pokemon. Igglybuff, terrible. Absolutely awful.
Unfortunately, because Igglybuff was one that I thought of immediately, I'm unfortunately going to have to give the nod to Igglybuff this round, Bobby. Palpitoad looks very dumb, though.
It's a bad Pokemon.
Chase, you are the biggest loser.
Thank you.
All right.
We didn't tilt them too hard tonight, folks.
Well, hang on, because I'm tilted now. What the fuck? Why did you people do this?
Do what?
These are good Pokemon, both of them.
This is more... I think Scyther looks awesome, but it never really felt like...
Wait, who picked Scyther?
I did.
Who picked Cinderace?
I did.
Why?
Well, have fun fucking arguing with yourself.
Okay, well...
Who's the worst
Cinderace
one?
Because Scyther actually isn't... It's more, I'm disappointed that he never felt like a viable option to keep in my party the whole game.
Are you just talking Gen 1?
Yeah.
Okay. I get it. I get it with Gen 1. It's one of the coolest looking Pokemon you could ever find, and then you get it, and it's a bug flying Pokemon that can't learn any bug moves, and it can only learn wing attack, and I think that's only in yellow version. So it's a bug flying Pokemon that can't learn bug moves and it can't learn flying moves. Yeah, I get it there. It's good in Gen 2 onwards. Like the Bugsy has the one in Gen 2 where he uses the Fury Cutter.
Johnny, you're saying that you don't like its moveset or the way it looks?
No, I love the way Scyther looks. I think Scyther looks awesome, which is why it was
the coolest looking Pokemon ever.
It was just like it's why it was so disappointing. I felt like I could never
Why'd
have
you
it
pick
in my
Cinderace?
party. Because I fucking hate how I had a Cinderace as my
Johnny
starter.
likes soccer, and he doesn't like Cinderace because Cinderace likes soccer, but not enough.
It's just
Cinderace calls it soccer. That's the problem. Johnny calls it football.
No, I don't. Another stupid bipedal, like, I don't know. Like, it's
a firefighting.
I feel irritated.
Is it fighting?
No.
It's not?
It's not fighting. Yeah.
No, I think it's just pure fire.
I think that's right.
Oh.
I think I'll double check myself.
I'm almost positive.
I had a Cinderace that fucking wrecked people. That thing is powerful as shit.
Rules. I don't know what your problem is.
I don't know.
I would absolutely. I mean,
it looks like bad Lola Bunny fan art.
I mean,
I think Scyther is cooler than Cinderace, so Cinderace moves on, but they're both wrong.
Yeah, I would probably. I think
I just don't like the way it looks.
I guarantee it.
So Scyther stays, Cinderace moves.
Yeah. Cinderace moves on. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Not very far, but it moves on, I guess, in this choice.
Look. I bet
Bobby picked a Lowland Persian.
I absolutely picked a Lowland Persian. This fucking bee-eating piece of shit fucking having an allergy to bee attack my girl looking cat. There's no way, like, this is the most massacred, I would say, that they've. I'm not even like I'm not standing for fucking Persian.
Like, Persian's not some amazing Pokemon. I like a Persian. In fact, there are some versions of Persian that I think look really cool. Yeah. Not this one.
This thing looks really unfortunate. It looks like it's got a fucking allergy. And I mean, this is a massacre. It just massacred it. Now, I understood, like, we've already talked about another fucking Pikachu clone a little bit. Oh, no, we didn't. Yeah. Did we? We did. Yeah.
We've talked about Pikachu clones when we talked about Plusle and Minun, and we talked a little bit about it here, but yeah.
I just feel like a Alolan Persian is.
They could have made a dark type Persian.
Type Meowth in Persian sounds like that could be rad. Like, what if it was a black cat? Because that would be cool. And they're like, actually, what if it was purple and looked like shit?
It had a big head.
Yeah, this thing looks really dumb.
It does look like some fucking normal ripoff.
I don't think that you even get like better moves with it, but I don't know.
Yeah. Persian can already learn. Regular Persian can already learn a handful of dark type moves like bite and things like that.
I definitely hate Alolan Persian more than Togedemaru.
Okay. Yeah.
The only good thing about Alolan Persian is the heavy breathing cat GIF that got made that had Alolan Persian in it instead of the cat. That was pretty good.
Positive.
I'm willing to let Alolan Persian move on. I think that Togedemaru really is just a really boring Pikachu clone, and for all the Pikachu clones that are out there, I think this is one of the worst ones. Yeah, it has the steel typing, but it doesn't actually even learn any steel type moves by level up, which why would you do that? Why wouldn't you give the steel type Pokemon a steel type move? And then to just add insult to injury, in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, they make it one of the totem Pokemon, where they're like, "Oh, we really like this. We think this is a Pokemon that's so cool, that's so important that we should make it a very critical part of the game." You're like, why are you shoving this terrible Pokemon further into my face? But I'm fine moving Alolan Persian on.
It's the right choice, Chase.
The problem is with the Alolan Persian, I still have good feelings about regular Persian. It's one of the fastest Pokemon.
But that's not who we're talking about.
That's what makes the Alolan version that much more disappointing.
We're talking about a Alolan boy.
All right.
Yeah.
They are not the same. They are not the same.
Birds.
All right. I mean, I concede defeat here. Like Delabird's worse than Moltres. I hate Moltres, but Delibird is a worse Pokemon than Moltres. I'll give you
that. Yeah, I agree.
No contest. Okay.
I still think being a legendary and being this bad, it's not great, but Delibird I'll say is worse.
I think Vanillish is worse here as well.
Minun are so bad. Chase, this is all you, buddy.
Is it? I don't know if oh man.
They evolved the ice cream cone. And they didn't even fucking make it the right scoops.
I'll give it to Vanillish for this point, in that Plusle and Minun only take up 2 spots with bad Pokemon, whereas Vanillish, Vanillux, and what's the other one? Vanillux is the last one.
The only thing that I could, like, if I really was going to be tilted on this one way or the other, I would say Palouse and Min, whatever they're fucking called, they fucking suck and go. And Pokemon, like, they're annoying as shit and go because there's an abundance of them. And
you could use a Vanillish. I wouldn't want to, but you could use it and be relatively effective with it. Plusle and Minun are pretty much always terrible. I think there's some cheesy strats you can do in Nuzlocke things with them, but
nope. Vanillish made it to the next round.
Yeah, I think Vanillish gets it. I think that's the right call.
Golem versus Igglybuff.
Golem's a really bad evolution, but I also think
pointlessness
of
Igglybuff.
Yeah. I do like Igglybuff's little swirl.
I think I'm more disappointed. I think I'm more disappointed in Golem, but I would still have one in my party. And, like, I would never have a Jigglypuff, let alone an Igglybuff in my party.
No.
Yeah.
So,
I
vote Igglybuff.
All right. Igglybuff goes.
Yeah, I think that's the right call.
Well, you would, Chase.
Alolan Persian moves on to the next round.
Absolutely. Cinderace shouldn't even be on this list. I don't understand.
Delibird versus Vanillish.
These both suck.
I don't know, man. Like, I just...
Does it get more difficult now because they both suck so much?
I think Delibird is a fun, bad gimmick Pokemon, whereas Vanillish is
bad. Takes up 3 slots.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's supposed to be evocative. This came in black and white, so this is like, hey, America made the ice cream cone, so we should honor that by putting an ice cream cone Pokemon in there.
Here's some ice cream for you.
Kind of. I will say I'm really glad that nobody put Trubbish or Garbodor in this list, because those are...
Why would we do that?
Yeah, they're beautiful little boys. I don't know why you do that, but
so
I think Vanillish is more offensive to me than Delibird is.
Igglybuff versus Alolan Persian.
I hate this. I think that they both suck. Here's where you start to get it.
Persian,
you used pointless is the word that you used for Igglybuff the last round. Mm-hmm. I would argue that this is the most, like, what is an Alolan Persian, if anything, but pointless.
And what could have been? They could have made something really cool.
Yeah, it's still useful. Come on.
I mean, here's, like, we all know the prequels suck. We know that's true. So, like, why are we surprised here, boys, that Igglybuff is bad? You got fucking Clone Wars up against the Rise of Skywalker, or not the Rise of Skywalker, but yeah, the Rise of Skywalker. You've got the sequel trilogy that nobody wanted, and you've got the prequels that nobody understood.
Oh, I understood them. That was the problem. I've Alolan Persian for me. The more I think about it, I don't know, because they could have made a really great dark evolution of Meowth and Persian, and instead we got Grapefruit Face over there. And
I understand I'm getting outvoted, but I would go with Igglybuff here if it was me.
I think, I could. If you caught me on a different day, I might say Igglybuff. All right.
Bobby, you are, just for the record, you are going with the Lowland Persian here.
Yes.
Okay. So it's a Lowland Persian against Vanillish. Well, Bobby should be happy. All of his picks made it to the finals.
I don't know if I'm happy about it. These are bad Pokemon. I'm not like this is the most defense I've had to put towards a bad thing. I mean, I think it's the Lowland Persian for me, but it's just a dumb looking Pokemon. So is Vanillish, but Vanillish takes up more space.
Chase, what do you think?
Man, it's tough. They're both pretty bad. I think there are some nice things I could say about a Lowland Persian from a usability standpoint. I would put one in my party before I would put a Vanillish. Ice types are pretty much always bad. They're weak to a bunch of stuff, and they're not very strong against many things. It's also a fucking ice cream cone. Like, it's not even based on an animal. It's based on an inanimate object. I mean, we had somebody in our chat early before we even started doing this who mentioned Klefki, who was also not a very good Pokemon. I think Steel Fairy is a pretty cool typing though. But I don't like Pokemon based on inanimate objects as much. Yeah. I think like Pokemon are creatures, are animals. I like them being more to that point. I can point at a Lowland Persian and go, "That's a cat. It's an ugly cat, but it's a cat."
What's a cat?
Vanillish feels wrong to me. I don't like it as a design for a Pokemon. It doesn't feel like a Pokemon to me.
I remember the first time I encountered a Vanillish in a Pokemon game, and it was one of the most perplexing moments I've had in a Pokemon game. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
I mean, also, I feel like when Game Freak has done inanimate object Pokemon in the past, I think of something like Grimer, which is just this muck. Like that is supposed to be a commentary. Thank you. Yes. But like those Pokemon are supposed to be a commentary on how humans have fucked up things, or Porygon, that humans kind of tried to play God and build their own Pokemon, and this is what happened to it. Or you get like the story of Mewtwo and how that was made. Vanillish doesn't have that backstory. It's not like somebody said, we're going to try to make an ice cream Pokemon, and this is the horrible monster that showed up from it. It just, like, this is supposed to be some naturally occurring thing.
That's the dumbest part.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get
out of here with that shit.
I hate both of these.
I think Vanillish takes it.
Yeah,
it's so bad.
It's bad, and again, like Chase, you brought it up first. I wasn't even going to bring that point up. The evolution taking up 3 spaces sucks.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Vanillish. You're the worst Pokemon.
I feel a little bad because I think Vanillish is a very obvious pick.
Yeah, but
it's obvious for a reason. It's really that heinous. It really just is that heinous. It earns that spot.
Who was your number one pick from your team, Chase? Iggly?
From mine, Togedemaru, Aromatisse, Alomomola, Rapier, Igglybuff, Moltres. It's probably Igglybuff. It probably is.
Yeah.
Igglybuff's just so bad. I will say, going back over this list though, we only had one. No, we had two. We had 2 Pokemon from Sword and Shield. We had Bolton and Cinderace. But I was going to say I was pleasantly surprised at how few Sword and Shield Pokemon I hated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because I when I think about this, I always have good fond feelings about Gen 1 and 2, and then I still think 3 had some good designs, but then as you go on, it seems like it's hard to make Pokemon. It's hard to make new Pokemon, and honestly, and I've been, I haven't seen the leaks. I haven't seen a ton of leaks, but the Pokemon I have seen for Scarlet and Violet, not a lot of them inspire confidence from me. I think there's some real rough designs in some of those.
The worst Pokemon in Sword and Shield weren't even Pokemon. It was the two dudes with the haircuts. They were the worst. If I could have put them on this bracket, they would have won.
Those guys are pretty stupid. I mean, I didn't love the fossils. That I liked the story behind them. That hey, we're these British scientists who, like the ones where they, the British scientists made. I'm sorry, the Galarian scientists put together these Pokemon and didn't understand how the bones worked, or just wanted to make up their own Pokemon by putting the bones together. The way that British scientists have fucked up, or archaeologists, I guess, have fucked up dinosaur bones to try to come up with their own dinosaurs to get some credit that they found some new species. I like the story behind it. I think all those things fucking suck, but yeah. I, for the most part, really liked a lot of Sword and Shield designs, and but so far, we're only a couple days away. We've got Scarlet and Violet coming. Who knows? Maybe we'll have to update this bracket with something coming here soon. But I have fingers crossed. I want to like these games, even though I don't think they're necessarily for me anymore. I don't feel like they've been for me for a couple generations now. But it's always a big event when a new Pokemon game comes out. So I'm looking forward to talking about that. I know we're going to be playing that on Friday all together, if we can, or at least we're going to be streaming it one way or another. We'll see if we can get to a place where we can do the co-op. But I'm looking forward to. Quick. I bet it will. Yeah.
So this was fun. I think that there's probably other things that we could look at with Pokemon, like late stage evolutions, or like we can get a little bit more specific on the criteria of things we like or dislike, but thank you, Johnny, for this deep dive. It's always fun to argue with you all. The week ahead, as Chase called out, it's a Pokemon week, so that's super exciting. We got 2 mainline Pokemon. Well, Arceus is not considered mainline, sorry. We got 2 we got a mainline and a really solid Pokemon game this year. So we'll be streaming that on Friday. Chase and I played Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope on Monday night. Probably the last time that I'm going to stream that this year. If you want to follow along with that, we've got video on demand of a few streams of that game. Still very, very good. Chase alluded to it earlier, but if you want to hear more of why we maybe are on the fence or a little cold and lukewarm on Tactics Ogre Reborn, you can see that quick look on our YouTube page. Tonight was episode 299 of the Casual Hour Live. If you want to find any more deep dives, we've got one every month, so go find our catalog either on YouTube, or you can go to anchor.fm/the casual hour and see some of our other deep dives, from magazine spelunking to tinfoil hat on mobile technologies. There's a lot of fun stuff that we do there for sure. We also teased a quick look for Sonic Frontiers, maybe the most fascinating game I've played in some time. That quick look is up, and you can see our reaction to what is happening in that game right there on YouTube. And Friday night, again, twitch.tv/casual hour, 10:30 p.m. Central. Tune in for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Before I hand it over to Chase, we are going to not have a podcast next week, as we are taking that time off for Thanksgiving. We will, however, have streams on Monday and Friday night. So tune in, hang out, see what that's all about. Chase and I will probably play more Pokemon on Monday.
And quick looks too. We are doing quick looks next week.
And we'll have quick looks next week for sure. Cool. And then Friday night, Johnny and I are going to check out Warzone 2.0. So we've got some fun stuff next week around the turkey. Chase, you've got a lot going on. What say you?
Yeah, I'll just mention a couple new things that I've got. One of them is, I think I mentioned this on Monday as well, but I have a new episode out on Chasey K Plays of SteamWorld Heist, my Cowbots and Aluminum series that I've been making. That's episode 8. Fun to get back to that game. I want to go back and play even more. And we're still waiting on a capture card thing for this PC, but I can still do it from my laptop, so we'll keep moving along with that at the moment, and then we'll bump it up to the PC when we can. But that's been great. You can search for that. You go to the link tree that Bobby just put in the chat, and you can find the Chasegate Plays thing there too. I need to remember what the handle is for YouTube. I know it's I don't know if you have to put an @ symbol in there at Chasegate Plays after YouTube.com.
Yeah, it's youtube.com/@Chasegate Plays.
Got it. Cool. Well, there it is. That's easier to remember. And then also I recorded, and today it just went up live, a new episode of Pilot Program, the podcast I do with good friend of the show, Pierce Corshane. This is our second episode. We talked about The Boys, the pilot episode of Amazon Prime Video's The Boys. And I'll give a slight spoiler warning. We didn't love it, but we had a really good conversation. We broke it down a lot about. We talked a lot about Watchmen, the movie and the comic book, not the show. But it was a really good conversation, and I think there were things that we really appreciated about the show, despite coming down on the relative negative side of the fence on that one. We also announced what our next episode is going to be, which I'm extremely excited about. I'll say I didn't pick it, but I'm very happy it got picked. We're going to watch the very first episode of Monday Night Raw, which that's gonna be incredible. I know I did watch that back in the day, but I don't remember anything about it. So I'm looking forward to talk about some fucking wrestling. That's going to be great. But yeah, you can find that Pilot Program Pod on Twitter, and we are on Acast. Yeah, just go to the Twitter. That's the easiest way to find the episodes and find your way, or search for Pilot Program on Apple Podcasts or Overcast or whatever you use, and we'll be there.
Awesome. Johnny, anything from you?
No, sir.
All right. Well, this has been a deep dive. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and hanging out, and we will be back soon. Take care.